there, thanks for joining me to color. Today we are going to be working on this Whimsy Stamps image called Miss Frosty. Isn't she cute? The image also comes with the sentiment. I always love that. I will put a link down in the description box to the card kit and all the supplies I used. I would love for you to come shopping with me. If you have a question, leave me a comment and I will make sure to get back to you. Otherwise, I have already stamped my image on Neenah 80-pound Solar White cardstock with Memento Tuxedo black ink. So let's color. All right, let's start out by coloring the snow. For that, we're going to use B_0, and I'm not going to do anything too fancy. I'm just going to draw along these lines that are already down here, because later I'm going to sprinkle some glitter over it, so it's all sparkly, but you'll be able to see through it just a little bit. So we're going to put a little bit of blue in here. And then she's also got some snow up here on the branches and underneath of the birdhouse. Just put a little dab in there. And then for the background, we're going to do B_0, BG70, C00, and our Colorless Blender. And I'm just going to start with my B_0, and I'm going to do some dots. So randomly go along here, add dots. However you want, and I'm just going to go all the way around. And you can go as far out as you want or keep them as close in as you want. And the longer you leave your pin down, the fatter your dot will be. The quicker you go, the smaller the dot will be. And I don't usually worry about it. I just usually dot around, randomly put some in there. And then let's see, back over here to our little scarf. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing with my BG70. And I don't care if I go on top of the dots that I already made, but I try to put some so that they're out and have their own spots too. Work our way back around to the other side. Let's get some in here. And we'll go back over here. Let's just skip over here real quick. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing with our C00. So just randomly put you some dots out here in the background. Here past our little bird. And I've got a little bit right here. I didn't put the other color, so let me grab a little bit in there. A little bit of space showing back there. And I want to go down and around this cute little bird. And then I'm going to take my Colorless Blender and I'm just going to wipe over all of those dots. And that will kind of smear them together. Go over here to the other side of our little snow girl. So for our little snow girl, we're going to use C31000 and the Colorless Blender. And I'm going to start with my C3. Well, let's go down here and we'll add a tiny dab down here close to the bottom where the snow is. And let's do a little bit up here underneath of her scarf. And then I'm going to go down the back of her arm. I'm going to do a few little dots there just along the bottom. And then let's see here. We got the scarf, and then this is snow. over here. Do a little bit along here, and let's do a little bit down here on her arm. Then I want to add C1. So I'm going to touch down on top of my C3 and just pull away from it a little bit. And then we want to add C0. Same thing, touch down on those last two colors. And then just pull out a little bit more. And then we're going to do the same thing with C00. And then with my Colorless Blender, I'm just going to wipe over those areas I colored. Kind of like the dots we did. I'm just going to kind of smush that all together. And then let's go up here and do her little face. So again, grab your C3. And let's do just a little bit up here by her fur on her hat. And then we'll do C1. C0. And C00. And then go over that with your Colorless Blender. So let's give her a couple of rosy cheeks. I'm going to use R20 and 30. So I'm going to do R20 first. I'm going to do a little dab over here. And then over here, I'm going to kind of keep it above the line for her smile. And then I'm going to do R30. And then I'm going to take my Colorless Blender and just go over those so they'll be soft, a little bit softer. And then for her little carrot nose, I'm going to do YR16 and 12. So let's do YR16 first, down here at the bottom. And then we're going to do YR12. And then I'm going to add a second coat, so let's grab YR16 again. And then YR12 to fill it in. For the fur on her hat and the little pom-poms on her scarf, we're going to use C0, 00, and our Colorless Blender. Let's go down here and we'll start on this little pom-pom first. So we're going to do C0 first. I'm going to go around this little dot, or the little line that's right here. And then I'm just going to kind of dot my pin around and give it a little bit more color in there. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one. Let's go around this line. And then I'm just going to dot my pin around inside that pom-pom. And then up here for the fur on her hat, let's do a little bit back here. And then I'm going to go underneath of the hat part of her hat. And let's do up here a little bit. And then we want to add C00. So let's add a little bit more to our pom-pom. And to our fur on her hat. And then we want to wipe over those with our Colorless Blender. Okay, the scarf. Let's do alternate stripes. For the first ones, we're going to do BG 75, 72, and 70. I'm going to start with my BG 75, and let's do this middle one here that's right by this button. Then I'm going to add BG 72. And then our BG 70. And then I'm going to add a second coat, so let me grab BG 75 again. And then BG 72. And then I'm going to pick up a little bit of my BG 72 on my BG 70 and get right next to this one. So I don't have quite such a line right here. Okay, then let's hop over here and we'll do the one on this one over here. So again, let's do the middle one. So grab BG 75. And BG 72. And then BG 70. And then we'll add a second coat, so BG 75. BG 72. And then again, we'll grab our BG 70 and pick up a little bit of our BG 72 and soften this edge right here. Alright, that leaves us a couple up here next to her face. So let's do BG 75 on this one. And I'm going to go up from the bottom. And then we'll skip one. And then we'll add BG 72. And BG 70. And then our second coat, so BG 75. And BG 72. And then grab your BG 70, pick up a little bit of that 72 on there, and go across this little center section. So for the alternate stripes and the top of the hat, we're going to use E43, 42, 41, and 40. And we're going to start with E43 down here on our scarf. So let's do a little dab right here. And over here. And then we'll add BG 42. And then E42, and this is E41. And then E40. And then again, we want to do a second coat, so E43. And then E42. E41, E40 over the entire area. Alright, so let's go over here and we'll do this side. So again, grab your E43. And then E42. And then E41. E40. And then our second coat, so E43. E42. E41. And then E40. We'll get the middle ones here. So E43. And then E42. E41. And then E40. And then we'll add a second coat, so E43. E42. E41. And then our E40. And let's see here. I'm going to grab BG75 because right here is a little bitty bit of her scarf showing. So I'm going to color, that's an alternate stripe, so let's do that with BG75. Sorry I missed that. Then we'll go up here and we'll do her hat. So let's do E43 first. So I'm going to do that around our ornaments here, our berries and our leaves. And then let's bring the shadow up here above the fur on her hat. And then over here, where it's inside, then we're going to do E42. And then we want to soften these edges. And I'm not being too neat because I know I'm going to go over it a second time. And then E41. And then E40. And because I'm going to give it a second coat, I'm going to leave a little bit of white up there so it'll be a little bit lighter. So again, grab your E43. All that, and then E42, E41. I'm going to go ahead and fill this little section in. And we'll add some up here. And then E40 to fill in this little section. And I'm going to wipe that over the entire hat. And then I want the inside to be darker, so I'm going to give it a third coat. So let's do E43. And then E42. Let's do the little button next. For that, we're going to use W8, 6, 4, and 2. So I'm going to start with my W8. And let's do this outside section. I'm trying to be very careful because I don't want it to get it everywhere because it's really dark. You'll never get that off. Then we're going to add W6. And then we'll bring some on the inside. And then W4. Let me go around these little buttonholes. And then our W2. And then again, I want to give it a second coat, so W8. W6. W4. And then our W2. Since I'm going to color the vest red, I'm going to leave that to last. So let's go over here and do the little tree sticks. For that, we're going to use E44, 43, and 42. I'm going to start with my E44. So let's add a little dab here along the bottom of this one. And then I want to come down the inside. My stick closest to the snow girl. And then let's do a little bit on the bottom of this one. And up here, here's a little spot that looks like it's underneath, so I'm going to color that. And we'll get a few up here. And then there's a couple of branches over here. So let's do this one along the bottom. And then this one. And then for this side, let's go around over here. Then we're going to add E43. And then we're going to go over the whole thing with E42. And these two up here. So I forgot to put a little bit of blue on my snow on top of my birdhouse. So I'm going to grab B quadruple 0. And let's add a little bit of that in here. And later I'll again put some glitter on that so it's all sparkly. Okay, so for the birdhouse we're going to use E44, 43, 42, and then I'm going to come in with the really dark one of E47. So I'm going to start with my E44, and let's do up here at the top of the roof, and over here, and then I want to go underneath the roof, and this snow. And then I want to go down each of these little lines. And I'm going to do the outside too here. And then for in here, let's do like this. And then we'll bring this little thing out like that. Then we're going to add E43. And we just want to go over the edge of that E44. And then we want to fill it in with our E42. Okay, so let's add E47, and then we'll come back with our second coat. So E47 up here, and then I'm going to go right along the edge of that snow. I'm going right over the top of those lines. Then we'll go to our second coat, so E44. E43. And then over the whole thing with our E42. Let's do the little birds next. For that, we're going to use E27, 25, 23, and 21. I'm going to start with my E27. Let's do a little dab over here. And then let's get a little bit on his face. Right, let's go over here and add a little bit to this little guy. Whoops, I need to get a little bit closer there. And then a little bit to his face. Then we're going to add E25. And let's add some to this little guy. And next we'll do E23. And this cutie over here. And then we want to add E21. And then I'm going to grab E25. Let's add a little bit more to these heads up here. And E23. And then E21. And let's do a little bit more of our E23. I think I'll flick this in here. And then another coat of our E21. Okay, for the little bellies, we're going to use R20 and 30. So let's add a little dab of our R20. And give this guy a little bit. And then R30 to fill it in. And for their little beaks, we're going to use Y35. The leaves, let's use YG67, 63, and G20. I'm going to start with my YG67, and let's start on these right over here. I'm going to do a little dab here along the bottom of this one. And then on this one, I want to go down the center and then pull out just a little bit here from the center so it's got a little bit more. And then up here, same thing, we want to do the bottom of this one. And then do the center and pull out away from the center just a little bit. And then these over here. Then we're going to add YG63. Work our way down here. And then these two. Then we're going to go over all of that with our G20. And then these two over here. Now, if you wanted them to be darker, you would again add a second coat, but I'm kind of liking mine like this, so I'm going to leave them like that. All right then, that leaves us with the red. For that, we're going to use R46, 35, and 14. And let's start with our R46 up here on our little berries. I'm going to do a little dab along the bottom. And let's hop down here and do these. And then these over here on the hat. Then we want to add R35. And then we want to go over that with our R14. I'm just going to do a little circle around the entire berry. And then this one over here. And we got to do the vest. So R46 first, and there's just a little bit over here showing, so I'm going to try to be really careful and just do a little small line down the belly. And then over here, we're going to do right next to the arm and under the scarf. And then over here, let's do under the scarf and arm, and then next to the scarf. Then we're going to add R35. I'm going to fill this little corner in right here. And then R14. So there is our adorable Miss Frosty all colored up. Isn't she super cute? Then again, here is our finished card. So this time I have popped up the sentiment. That's it. Everything else is flat. I use my Sharpie white paint pen to add some little dots to the berries. And I use my Spica glitter pen to do all these little swirls that are kind of coming out away from everything to give those a little bit of sparkle. And then I added glitter to the snow down here and then all the snow up here on the bird's branch, on the branches in the tree house. It's very sparkly. And then this cute little snowflake is cut out of some gold glitter paper. So you get to punch all these little holes out because that would take me forever, but they do pop out of there and they'll be see-through on your card. Same for this little guy here. Some of the little spots didn't come out when I pulled it out of the die, so you're going to have to pull those out. So I hope you had fun coloring with me today. If you have a question, leave me a comment and I'll make sure to get back to you. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.